come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away? Show us where.
Hi, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. I have not done a video in 3 months because I'm doing a quarterly subscription box now, and I am so busy with creating decoupage papers and doing everything else that I haven't really been on YouTube hardly at all. Well, I haven't been on for 3 months. I wanted just to give you guys a little update on what's going on. I'm creating decoupage paper now, and I've got it all on my website, and it's going great, and it's super fun. I love it. My shop is still here in Spokane Valley, and I'm open Wednesday through Saturday. And if you're local, please stop by. We're using an IOD Paint Inlay, and I wanted to put Fineline Crackle over it because this process takes 3 or 4 days because of the dry time. And there's a lot going on over here at Elsie Lane, let me tell ya. Anyway, let's get the items that come in this month's box is this wooden cigar box to practice your inlay and Pentart Fineline Crackle on. You're going to get some Miss Lillian's paint, some antique paste, some clear glossy varnish, and the Fineline Crackle, which is a 2-part component, and a brush, and then 1 page out of the Flora Indigo Flora inlay, and then this little medallion, which I had made by Stillwell House in Oregon. You guys should go follow her. I think she changed her name to Chica Tiza. I will put her link down below, but she makes these custom wood discs and a bunch of different things. She sent me some really cute earrings, which I don't have here, but she is super sweet, and you guys should follow her. So, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is take the Miss Lillian's paint, and this is a no wax chalk paint. It's called Antique White, and I'm going to do 1 thin coat over the whole entire box and let it dry, and then I will put the inlay on the 2nd coat when this is dry. This paint has a top coat in it, so you won't want to leave your paint inlay on as long as you might with a chalk paint that doesn't have a top coat in it, but it does work really well. You can really use any kind of paint you want, I think. So if you want to do a different color underneath the inlay, you could do a yellow or a pink or any color. It doesn't really matter. I just sent the white because I think it looks really good under the white. I wanted it to kind of resemble like a porcelain plate that's all crackly. Here is I was trying to figure out how I wanted to put the inlay on the box. I thought I could leave it as one big sheet and try to fold it down like a gift. And then I kind of thought, well, you know, I think this probably would be easiest if I just cut out the top and then cut out all the sides. But if you want to preserve this so that you can use it again as a whole sheet, you could probably just fold the corners down and leave it all as one sheet and do it that way. I just chose not to.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go.
I like that the inlays have grid lines on them so that it helps you figure out where to cut, and you can cut straighter. That is super helpful for me.
I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out. So try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at these beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at these beautiful stars. I wanna take a
Now we're just painting a second coat of the white, and that is what you're going to lay your inlay down on top of. You want to make sure that you get it all wet, like it's got to be completely painted. It doesn't have to be too thick, but it has to be thick enough for the paint inlay to stick to it, which you just don't have to glop on the paint, but just give it a good, nice, even coat. And then I took a spray bottle and sprayed the back of my inlay with that. And then you lay it face down with the grid lines facing you, but the paint is on the other side. So you want the inlay to be upside down. And so you will see the grid lines on your side. That means you have it on right. If you don't see the grid lines, then you have it on wrong.
It's just what I do when I'm out.
Then you want to take a wet sponge or a baby wipe. I like to use baby wipes. I feel like they just have the right amount of wetness on them to get the inlay flattened out, and it gives you a lot of good control. So that is my suggestion, is to use a baby wipe. If you don't have a baby wipe, you can use a wet towel, you can use a wet sponge. Also, I've seen people just spray them and use a brayer, but I do believe the baby wipe is the easiest way for me. And but honestly, you just want to make sure that it's completely flat, there's no wrinkles, and that it's all wet. And then you're going to do the same exact thing to the sides and the back of the box. I can see already that I'm going to have a razor blade handy, because I know my box is going to glue shut from the paint, and that happens to me all the time. And I guess if you don't want it to happen to you, just open the box every once in a while and make sure that you're not gluing it shut, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. And then with the paint inlay being wet, it stretches, so you can easily wrap it around hinges or like the little clasp thing. You can see that I'm taking a razor blade and cutting around that, and I'm not sure I needed to do that, but I think it did help it lay down a little bit better. But it really wasn't a big deal. Don't let it scare you. It's pretty easy.
Show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's gray outside? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder. How come the trees gets undressed when it's cold? And don't they miss the leaves they left behind? Could it be to make the ground shine like gold until winter comes? Until winter comes.
Okay, for some reason I forgot to show this part, but I sprayed the entire box after about 45 minutes or so with my mister bottle to get the paper wet again. And then you want to wait about 30 seconds or so and then start peeling the paper off. If the paper is kind of hard to peel off, that means it might not be wet enough, or you need to wait another few seconds. You can spray it again if it's not wet enough and wait just a few more seconds. But you should be able to peel the paper off pretty easily. And then you'll see this gorgeous design on your piece, and it is so satisfying and so pretty. I love the paint inlays so much. Once you get the hang of them, you will be just as addicted to them as I am. They're really great to work with. I think they just are so beautiful.
Yeah, it makes me wonder.
And the other really cool thing about the paint inlays is you can leave them laying out flat to dry, and then you can reuse them again. And I know IOD says you can use them up to 3 times. I've actually had inlays that I've been able to use 5 times.
Yeah, I wonder.
Okay, so when you're using the Pentart Fineline Crackle, you definitely need to have your substrate completely dry. If it comes in contact with any kind of water, it's going to gum up, it's not going to work, you're going to be super mad about it. So you definitely want to use a super dry brush and put it on a really dry substrate. So my box had been sitting for 24 hours and I'm using this brush. I haven't used it for anything else. Just make sure that you use a really dry brush. That's very important. So the component 1, you want to put a good thick coat of that on it. It'll be white when you put it on, but when it dries, it will dry clear. And then you need to let that sit for 24 hours before you put the component 2 on. Okay, so now it's the next day. You can see that it dried clear, and now we're going to use component number 2 on the box, and this is what's going to give it the really pretty crackle. My paintbrush is completely dry. I'm using the same one. I love these paintbrushes. They wash really good. When I wash the component 1 and 2 out of my brush, I just rinsed them in water and it came right off. And I was kind of surprised because I thought because it was solvent based that it was going to need a solvent cleanser, but it kind of just washed right out of these brushes. So go ahead and put a pretty good thick coat on. The thicker the coat that you put of component 2, the cooler the crackles you'll have. I wanted some pretty long, cool, different crackles that went in different directions. And so that's kind of what my thinking was. This is the first time I've ever done this fine line crackle by myself. I was taught by the great Lynn Brundage when I went over to New York last June to one of her workshops, Ellen J. Goods. She did a crackle camp and we got to learn all about all of the different crackles that Pentart carries. And I did get to use it, but it still kind of scared me. Like when I was sitting here thinking about doing this video, I was thinking, I'm gonna screw it up. I'm gonna screw it up and nobody's ever gonna listen to me again. But it really honestly was pretty easy. And then I gave you guys enough crackle that you should be able to do quite a few projects. I wanted you to really have fun with it and test it out. So I have these little birds. I have decor transfers on them and I sealed them and everything with a varnish. And then I went back with the component 1 and the component 2 and put little crackles on these guys. And I also did a box that had decoupage paper on it too, which I'll show you. So I am using the crap out of this crackle. I'm gonna crackle everything in my store. I love it. It's so pretty and it's so easy to work with. You just have to remember that you need a dry brush, and that's literally it. You don't have to stress out about it like I did. This is the other box that I did. I have one of my decoupage papers on it. It's called Boho Cantha Fusion. I just cut it up and put that on there. And I thought maybe I could crackle it too. So I did the component 1 and 2, and then you'll see when I'm done, I'll show you how pretty the crackles look on here too. Okay, so I let this dry completely. This is the next day. I'm coming in 24 hours later. That's why it took me so long to get this video done, because this was really like a 4 or 5 day project. So this is the antique paste. It's umber, and I am just putting it on with a paper towel. I've seen people put it on with different things like their finger or, you know, rags, whatever. I just grabbed this paper towel. But this is the first time I've done this. And so I wasn't really sure how much to put on, but it looks to me like you don't have to use a whole lot. You just really want to get it in those cracks. But look how pretty this is. Are you guys just, can you believe how cool this is? I've never seen a crackle like this before that just gives these really authentic looking porcelain style cracks like this does. I've never seen that before. It's stunning. And then after I put all this on and wiped it really good with the paper towel, I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll show you the next step.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are? What makes the sun go to
I can see down here around the edges, I got something glopped on there. I think it probably was one of the fine line crackles. I probably put it too thick and it settled down as it was drying. And so I just grabbed a piece of 220 grit sandpaper and sanded around the edges, and that worked pretty well. I think it worked fine.
just like me, a little bit scared of heights? Why does the rain always keep on pouring down?
You can definitely put the antique wax paste over your transfers and your decoupage papers also. This is so cute. I can't even stand it. I just love how these turned out.
Ooh, I wonder. How come the trees gets undressed when it's cold? And don't they miss the leaves they left behind? Could it be to make the ground shine like gold?
I wanted our box to be really shiny, so I also put in a sample of the solvent-based glossy varnish for you. You want to make sure that you use a brush you don't care about, or have some solvent cleanser handy to clean your brush. Also, you need to use this in a very well ventilated area. The smell is pretty strong. I definitely recommend that you do it in a well ventilated area. Maybe wear gloves. I just was really careful not to get any of it on my hands. But yeah, it is worth it. It's so pretty. I love it. I'm going to put everything that I use down in the description box below, and access to my class in a box. It's quarterly. The next one comes out in January. I have no idea what I'm doing yet, but it's going to be something really, really fun. They always are. I might have a couple of these boxes left. If you're watching this and you want one, you can go check my website and see if there's still any. It would be under the class in a box section on my website. I'll link it below too. And thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all so, so much. And I'll see you next time. Oh, and if you're into decoupage, go over and check my website. I have a bunch of decoupage papers. I also sell whimsical decoupage papers, and I'm addicted to decoupage. It's just fun. I also sell IOD and Pentart, so go check me out.
Do another scrape for the left, and then leave a thumbs up.